Good morning.
Hello.
Escape Pod, episode 21.
Can't believe it.
What can't you believe?
On 21 of these.
21 live streams. I'm going to wait just a minute. See if anybody pops in. All right. They're popping in, Todd. We need the, I got to write it down. We need the wait screen.
Oh, we do need a late
So
screen.
that
You're
it
right.
starts and people can join before we actually start. Hey, everybody. So, we survived. We survived last week. However, we both decided that we would really like another week off. But we're not. We're here. We're ready to go. So we haven't really made our big plans. I think we're going to do that later today, as far as what's coming up, what's coming up on the stream. So today, what we actually are going to do is start planning out a little bit of modeling and animation. Excuse me. We're doing one of the ideas that we have had for a little bit. I talked a little bit about it on sometime last week on one of those 3 streams that we did last week. Some animation rig tests. So I want to go find rigs that are on the internet. Some are free, some you have to pay for, and see which ones are worth using. Maybe they'll all be fine. Who knows? I know they're not all fine because my students have some of them that are not good. So I want to test some of those out, and I'll do lots of different kind of tests, whether they're body mechanics tests or facial rig tests, so lip sync, acting, those kind of things. And at the same time, what Todd is going to do is he's going to model up some environments for me, really basic things, and then we're gonna try to see if we can package those together for whomever wants to use them, whether high school students or college students or whatever. So that's kind of our plan. Doesn't mean that we're not going to do all the other things, but for today, that's like easy for us to kind of tackle right now. Sound good, Todd?
Sounds great, Sean.
When we have a final total from all the stuff that we did last week for Giving Day, we'll announce that. But they're still coming up with the totals, so we actually don't know what the final result
Yep.
was.
Yeah, and thank you to everyone who watched and supported that. It means a lot to the students that we have here at the university. I think also, from this point out for the rest of the summer, it's all just Escape Pod, not just
Yeah.
us, which will be fun. So
Yeah, that's a kind of a one-time special deal where we're helping out the university where we work. Uh, now it's just Todd and Sean and what we're doing. So if you're in the chat, let us know you're there. Thanks for everybody who has subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Hit the notifications for when we have videos. At one point, we'll have videos, not just live streams. All right. So I think what I'm gonna do. Hey, Israel, how are you? Saw your 3D sketch model. Looked pretty good. Thanks for doing that. Do we need to at some point? Hey, Derek, how are you? Todd, do we need at some point to announce? We didn't
yeah,
announce anything, did we?
No, I've got the emails out to them, and what I was going to do is contact those individuals, the winners, later today,
Okay.
get that set up, and then we can announce it all, and then be like, hey, these are the people. This is when we're going to do the. We're doing because I think when we have Mike back on, Mike's all good to come back on with the winners.
Okay.
Um, and we can do that. Doesn't have to be a live stream.
Okay.
We can record it and then put it up there, whatever we want to do. So
Perfect. All right. For anybody who's on here right now, if you want, um, I'm curious. Number one, I guess, are you animators? Do you use, if you are an animator, do you use the rigs that are just found all over the internet? If so, which ones do you use? Or which ones would you like to see? Um, I think I might, Todd, I think you can do like a poll on Twitter. I might do that
okay,
with some of the images. All right, you ready?
I'm so ready.
All right, let's get this going.
So I'm going to share my screen with you, Sean.
Yeah, go ahead. All right.
Let's see here. So there's a pretty big discrepancy in a lot of these rigs in terms of size. So I'm just going to build it to a scale, and then they'll be scalable.
Okay.
Let's see, I'll get rid of this guy. So I'm going to make a new scene here.
Israel Mixamo. I've never heard of that one.
Alright, so I'm going to use the Jack as my main, but I'm going to scale it down just a little bit because he's pretty big compared to the David rig.
I gotta find that rig now. Mixamo.
Alright.
Is Mixamo a rigging system? It looks like it's a rigging system, not necessarily a character. Oh, interesting. Okay. So normally when I am looking for free stuff like rigs, if you just type in like Maya character rigs or Maya rigs, you can find websites like this. So this is a pretty decent website. It's got a lot of stuff. So the top are all free ones. So there's actually quite a few free ones. Sometimes they're really specific, like you've got Tom from Tom and Jerry, or Elsa. So some of them I'm not like super, like I probably wouldn't animate Elsa. Probably not going to do that. But anyways, there's a lot of free ones in here that are interesting, and I've got a few as well. But what I'm kind of looking at is which one would be a good first one. They've got Todd. They've got Norman. Do you remember Norman from Art Academy or Academy of Art? Trevor, the one that's in San Francisco.
I guess so.
That was like one of the very first ones that I used to see. You can customize it a whole bunch. It's pretty basic. It looks basic, but it's actually pretty nice. Anyways, you've got all of these lots and lots and lots and lots of free stuff. And this isn't even all of them, right? There's tons. But then there's also some pay ones. Eventually I'll get to them. Hold on. There's so many here. Yeah, and then there's these where you've got to pay for them. And some of these are pretty good. So I've used some of these. I've used these actually. Todd had one of them up right now. This guy, David. But there's these two and this set of two are all made by the same guy. This one, this pair is kind of interesting. I've seen a lot of tests with these two with their face. I think their faces are supposed to work pretty well, I would guess, based on the tests that I've seen. This is pretty interesting, these M rigs. They're expensive. There's 3 of them, like $110 for all 3. So some of these are, again, you might get some that are like $10. Some of them are fairly expensive. Anyways, there's a whole bunch there. And so what I'm looking at doing is selecting some and just running them through their paces and seeing what's good and what's not good. A few of these, like these 4 right in here, these are subscription based. So you gotta buy a subscription, and then actually all 5 of these, you gotta buy a subscription, and if you don't have an active subscription, you can't open them, which sometimes that's a pain. And then you can see this body rig pack, which is what Todd is also basing some of his modeling off of right now. Anyways, I'm curious if it's more useful to do a free rig. What do you think, Todd? A free rig versus a pay-for rig first? Or does it matter?
I think the free rigs are good. Pay for rigs we can do too. I don't know if it makes much of a difference. I think if it's free, it's easier to get at. But if not, then just take some of the ones you pay for.
All right.
I offered no help whatsoever.
That was a do whatever you want.
That was a Sean. I really don't know.
I don't really care. I am modeling things. The first 2 that I had looked at were these 2. Just because I thought they were kind of interesting looking and different.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they have an okay face system as well. Like, I think you can actually do lip sync, even though it looks pretty basic. But these are paid. It's $14 though. You get both of them for $14.
Okay.
I'm a little bit concerned with some of the deformations, but hey, that's why we're doing it, right? To see if it's any good. Anyways, anybody out there who animates, do you have any favorite ones that you're using or would like to see used? Let us know.
All right, Sean. I'm making a little measure for myself just because I want to assume that this character is about 6 feet tall.
Okay.
This is gonna be so awesome, Sean. Just wait till you see what happens next. So one of the things I used to do a ton of, and I still do a ton of, I guess, not a ton, but a lot of, is like environment models and like interiors, things like that, exteriors, cars, props. The most important thing is always getting your scale set before you start. And I tend not to use the Maya measure because a lot of cases the measure doesn't make any difference. Whether the character is 6 feet or 8 feet, you just kind of make a determination, and everything's built off of like one single like point that you pick, and basically say that's going to be my measure from this point forward. So if I know that this is 6 feet tall, I'm going to say this character is about 6 feet tall. What I should have done is duplicate these. This is the not glamorous side of modeling. Not that any of it is glamorous. Alright. So let's add material to this.
Yeah, Jolie, I'm not sure. Those rigs have been around a little while. You know, interesting story. Anybody play Team Fortress 2? I have an interesting story. When I worked at Sucker Punch in Washington, up in outside of Seattle, Bungie was really it was like 2 buildings down from us, and so randomly, like, you would go to lunch and you'd see Bungie was funny because Bungie, like, everybody wore their Bungie shirts, so they would travel in packs.
Bungie packs?
What?
Bungie packs?
Bungie packs. You'd always see like 5 of them together, just roaming all the lunch places. But for some reason, wait, who made Team Fortress 2? Am I blanking on who made it? It wasn't Bungie. It was Valve. Thank you.
Oh yeah, Valve.
Valve was also, so here Bungie was here, Sucker Punch was in the middle, and Valve was on the other side. We didn't see Valve people roaming around because I don't ever remember them wearing their shirts. Bungie wore their shirts all the time. Valve came over and showed us some of the shorts that they were working on. But what was really funny was they asked for like some ideas. They said, "Hey, we're kind of working on this. What do you guys think?" And I can't remember. I never played it, and I can't remember which short it was. It might have been like the Doctor or something. But he had like shot a hole in someone, and it like went through the guy's like gut, and it went into like Fantasyland or something. That idea was pitched by one of the guys at Sucker Punch. He was like, what would be really cool is if you like, he was going crazy and people were shooting stuff, and it like basically put a hole in him, and he went through, and it was like rainbows and everything, and they did the whole thing. They didn't tell us they were going to do it, but they did it. It just popped up one day, and we were like, "Hey, that was I think his name was Stuart. That was Stuart's idea." Anyways,
Stuart was always pretty good about that.
You're familiar with Stuart's work?
Yeah, he was a big back in the day. He was a big Escape Pod fan.
Are we already referring to it back in the day? February?
Back in the day, Sean. All right, so check this out. So here's what I'm trying to do. So we're going to have a room that's going to have, the set that I'm going to try to build for you, Sean, is going to have about a 10-foot ceiling. Maybe
Nice.
something like that, okay? And then what's going to happen is I'm going to build modular stair pieces with 5 treads per piece.
Okay.
So you can have a really long staircase. If you want a really long staircase, I'll have different stair kind of banister posts and things like that for it. You can swap out. So what's be cool about this is you can basically take these steps, and you could do any kind of like straight run like this. You'll be able to take them, and you'll be able to kind of turn them. So you can make any kind of crazy shapes that you want out of all of this.
Okay.
So my goal is to make everything completely modular so that whoever uses this can go through and basically create something from all the pieces parts.
Okay. Cool. Perfect, because I was going to ask if you could make it like coming down and then turn at a right angle. And
Yes, it's not going to be a spiral staircase. That's the only thing I'm
no, no,
not, because that I have that. I can pull some stuff for that, but
no. I don't. I
it's going
don't
to make
need
it straight.
I don't need one of those.
Awesome.
Well, I was going to pull up that Norman rig, but it doesn't seem to want to open. Man, that thing is so old. That was when I was going through school. All right, we're going to pull in some other ones.
All right. Actually, I better save this before I lose everything. Let's see. Here we go. That's get rid of this. Now we're good. Now we need some door jams. Meet door jams, Sean.
All right, we got at least one that'll open. Let's see what else we can get.
A little bit taller. All right. Just think, I could have been doing this for money right now.
You could have.
What is going on with this?
Making those Scooby dollars. Was it Scooby? Am I allowed to ask?
I can't say for certain what it was. Could have been a couple of different things, I think. But I said no. Cannot do it right now because too many other things going on that are exciting.
I've got quite a random lineup of characters here. These are the ones that I've got downloaded or up on box. I want this Norman one to work though. Hey, there it goes.
Now we're ready, Sean. We're ready to build some stuff.
All right, there we go. We've got Norman here on the far left, who is definitely the oldest rig that I've got, but is still really good. One of the things I really liked about this character is you could customize him so easily. So if you look up, let's see, and I don't know if you can find, you used to be able to find animation tests with him all the time.
Norman?
Yes. Of course, the only thing that's coming up now are Paranorman.
Stupid Paranorman. I like Paranorman. Let's see. I'm guessing those are about 3.5 feet wide.
Yeah, Paranorman's a good movie.
All their stuff is like just a little bit drier than most. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just has a certain feel to it. It's just different. But I like that about it.
This is about the worst image, but those are all those same characters, like that lineup of characters. And there's female versions too that are out there as well. Anyways, I liked it just because it was so customizable. And there were some great animations done long ago. Now, obviously, you can find newer rigs that maybe you don't have to customize anymore. But I always liked the all the different options you could get with that character. And then there's this little guy right here. His name's Mr. Buttons. And he's pretty cool because he's so flexible. Really cartoony. And I believe you can even do, like this thing is set up to do multiples pretty easily. So you could do multiple limbs. And I think they're even built into it are these like swoosh lines that you can get.
Are those UTD swoosh lines?
Yeah, it's a UTD swoosh. I thought we weren't talking about UTD anymore.
Oh, yeah.
We gotta save it for next year. Next Giving Day.
The big Giving Day extravaganza.
Anyway, Mr. Buttons. Mr. Buttons is free, I believe. And then the ever popular Malcolm. Really great rig.
The Jamal Warner of rigs.
The Jamal Warner? Who's Jamal Warner?
Sean. Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Oh, Malcolm Jamal Warner. All right, I do
You know what
now.
I'm talking about?
I do now. Um, I always find that he might be a little bit complicated for people who are just getting in to animation. Like you wouldn't want to throw somebody in who's never animated before, just because he's got so many controls. Um, but very robust, very good rig, good for anything you really want to do. And you can, when you download him, I think you can get different versions of him. I think there's like a female version, but you can get other like outfits and hairstyles and that kind of stuff. They come with them. He comes with a picker too. If you've never used a picker, it's basically just a way, rather than going in here and like selecting all of these controls, uh, you can just select it really easily on like a, I don't know how to describe it, but flat piece of thing that makes it easy to select stuff. That's the technical term. And then this character right here is David, and you do have to pay for this one. One of the things that I really liked about this character and the other characters that whoever created them did is they're pretty appealing. Like when you look at them, they look nice. It's a nice looking character. Now, I tried to do a test with this character a long time ago when I first got it. And from what I remember, I struggled a little bit with the lip sync because I didn't feel like there was a ton of control. So I'll have to go back and revisit that. Again, there's different ways you can kind of move this around so you can kind of see. This acts a little bit like a picker, right? So this kind of flat piece of controls, and you grab it and just kind of move it around. You can kind of see what it does to the mouth there. And then if you need specific controls, we can come in and grab whatever's on the face. And I'm not sure if you can do that. Yeah. Anyways, so all of that's there. So those are kind of like a variety of different rigs. So anyways, we're going to, or at least I'm going to start picking some of these and doing tests. So I'm going to do a full-on animation. And if it, so for instance, like this character, like Mr. Buttons, I don't know if there's really a facial system. I mean, like you could do some lip sync, but it's got to be really basic, right? Because there's hardly any. Like I can move the jaw up and down. I can move the mouth corners in. So you could do something. It's just not going to be real. You wouldn't want to do like a really heavy performance probably with this character. It's not what it's really for. So I probably wouldn't do something like that. This is more of a cartoony style, a body mechanics type rig. That's what I would probably use it for. The other three, though, you could probably do whatever you want to with it. Even though that this Norman character looks really basic, I've seen amazing acting pieces with that. Israel, who is Matt Tovar? I don't know who Matt Tovar is. Let's look. We are about to find out. All right. Yeah, some of those look decent. Yeah, Todd, this guy's got some character rigs, and he also has some environments that he has built.
Oh, wow.
Yours are going to be much better than this, though. I can tell. These are
Mine are going to be like legit.
These are pretty basic. Most of
Mine's
them, most of it looks like basic geometry with about 5% more added on.
5%.
I mean, it's pretty. A lot of cubes, cylinders.
Oh man, mine's gonna be fully smoothable.
Fully smoothable.
Fully smoothable. Real assets here.
Do you think at some point you could make like a street?
Oh yeah.
It's like buildings,
Yep.
like a brownstone block. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that stuff's not hard.
Israel said this is too much to take in. I don't know if I'm prepared. What is too much to take in? We're not doing anything right now. We're literally just talking about stuff.
It's good to know that the awesomeness level is a little bit too high today. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. See, Sean, all my stuff's gonna look like this. So I have a little bit of something to it. To kind of match the softness of the characters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The boxes that I already made are pretty cool. They unfortunately are right now.
Todd, how many polys do you have on that step?
What's that?
How many polygons do you have? Isn't that the question you ask a modeler?
Yeah. So this one has more, but I can simplify it out. What I'm going to do is just kind of rough it out with something like this. In fact, I can probably go ahead. It comes down to, okay, so here's my question to you. The problem that you run into if you don't have enough geometry on this, like if I'm using really simple, crude geometry, right? Your characters that you're using tend to be smoothed because you want good facial deformations and stuff like that. So some of the environment stuff can be beveled, but if the normals and stuff aren't set correctly and whatever, it looks kind of weird. So for instance, like on this piece right now, see this banding I'm getting right there? I guess it comes down to, do you want these things to be smoothed out or you just want them to be rigid?
Todd, it will not matter one bit to me.
I'm just wondering in terms of when people are, like when they do their play blasts and stuff like that, like what do they want it to look like? Do they want it to look like I'm trying to think. Well, I'm just going to rough it out and I'll figure it out later on. It won't matter because I can replace all this stuff.
Yeah, what I would say is when I do a test with that, we can see.
Yeah.
Chances are it will not matter.
Yeah. Well, I'm just wondering if you're even going to smooth it out. If not, I can just bevel some of this stuff. And then, so what I'm going to do for right now is just leave some of this stuff off.
Yeah, I might not smooth it. I mean, it's going to be far away. And I don't really light anything when I do a play blast. So I don't know that it'll really matter. It's just
Yeah.
A lot of times I just slap some color on it.
Yeah, well, these will all be shaded.
Though with Viewport 2.0, it's been so long since I've really done a test.
Yeah.
And wanted to try to make something look good. Normally it doesn't matter, right? I'm just doing a test. I'm just doing a test in class, and it doesn't really matter.
I'm just thinking, like, if somebody wants something to look really polished, even though they're kind of using rough geometry, it's not going to be shaded. I mean, it's going to be shaded. It won't be textured, anything like that. It's going to have a shader on it.
Yeah.
You know, what kind of level do they want?
All right. Todd, I know I've said it like 3-4 times this stream already. This Norman rig, again, this Norman rig was made when I was in school. So that was almost 20 years ago. So imagine like the advancements that have been made. This rig can still do things that rigs today don't do. Like this simple cupping of the hand. I can't tell you how many rigs can't really do this. Because I do an assignment with that's all hand. We just go through creating hand poses.
Yeah.
And they'll make a fist, but when you make a fist, right, your hand starts to cup. It's not just the fingers that rotate through. It pulls in. And at least half the rigs can't do that. And so you get these a lot of times you get these really ugly hand shapes that they just don't feel flexible. Like the fingers will move, but the hand is just rock solid. I just grab the hand and it automatically does that on this Norman character. Again, I know it's not like the most appealing thing in the entire world, but there's a reason why people use this for so long.
Oh, crud. I'm going to make these stairs so that they can be away from the wall or they can just be jammed into the wall.
Okay.
Like in terms of the treads. Right. Doing. That's why.
wonder if we should use this guy in our classes for like Anim 1 and Anim 2 rather than the body mechanics. Like rig pack that you're playing with right over there.
Let's see, for these stairs, do you want them to be solid down the sides? Do you want them to be open?
I would
talk
probably
about-
do them solid,
Solid?
but I don't know. I don't know that it matters.
Well. Alright, I'm just going to use this. Oh no. Oh, oh no, fatal error.
Did you lose it?
No.
Oh.
I still got it someplace. Let's see if I can find it. Hold on. Let's see. Still trying to see if I can find it.
What are you trying to find? Your file that you lost?
Yeah. I know I dumped it into my temp folder someplace, but I'm just trying to see if I can find it. This is the joy of working with Maya. Let's see, I think it's got it.
All right, Todd. I made a pose with this guy,
Oh, look at that.
and now we're gonna now we're gonna finish it off.
Finish him.
Mr. Buttons, no. What did you do?
Oh boy. Come on, file. So if I go here and I go to data, local temp. Well, it doesn't look good.
Are you saying that you lost your hours worth of work?
I didn't lose all of it. Bum, 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 bum. Let's see.
There we go, Todd. No more Mr. Buttons.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, it's looking like I'm gonna have to redo a lot of that, but that's okay.
That's all right.
I've got other stuff I'm gonna pull from, I think, that I've already got done. To do the same things. Oh well. Still made for an exciting hour of Escape Pod.
So we need to come up with our new times, correct?
Oh yeah.
For during the week, and then okay, we can put those on Twitter, right?
Sure.
For the 10 people who are following us there. Okay, we can figure that out. Anyways, we'll probably do a everybody who's on here. We'll probably do a another live stream. At least I will. I haven't talked to Todd about it, but I'll probably do one later this week. No, you don't have to, Derek. But in the afternoon. So it'll be here. Let's switch this over. Let's switch that. We'll leave that as Todd. No. Where's your... There we go. Now we're both back. It'll probably be around like a 1 or a 2 o'clock, and if it's me animating, it'll probably be longer than an hour. And it'll be a regular... I know sometimes our live streams are a little bit weird because a lot of times we're just kind of talking and not doing a whole lot. These if I'm doing animation, then it'll be like straight up just me animating. Probably not a ton of talking, though certainly if anybody has questions, you can always ask or whatever. I'll check it, but it really will be just me working. Okay? And we'll figure out that, and we'll probably post about it on Twitter, I would guess. All right?
Sounds great.
Okay, so those things are coming up. So I think that's about it. Yeah. Alrighty. Thanks everybody for stopping by. We will see
Sorry, I
you
lost
soon.
my file.
Will you be able to recreate it, Todd?
I don't know. That was some of the best work I think I've ever done. And I was really in the zone, so. No, I think though, to follow your lead, at some point I might just do some modeling stuff where I'm not even talking. Yeah. I'm just building stuff and people can sit and watch if they want. But yeah, and I might do some of that to build this set.
All right, sounds good.
Cool.
So long, everybody.
Bye, everyone.